What's up team? We are finally back from India and we're getting straight back into the 280Zx build. It feels so good to be home. Home sweet home. I had a blast in India, but of course home is always where the heart is, and we're back. So as you can see, we've got this thing up on axle stands. It's time to get this thing ready for its roadworthy, which is booked in next Saturday, so we have a week to get it ready. So right now I've degreased underneath and all of the wheel arches, because this thing has not been cleaned in like 10 years underneath. So we've degreased. Look at all the spider webs and stuff. Thing is definitely real manky. So degrease everything. We're going to water blast everything underneath as well. There's definitely a couple of oil leaks under the sump and stuff like that, as to be expected with a car like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and under seal all the wheel arches, make it look all nice and pretty, and just give it the best chance of passing its roadworthy. We've got some brand new brake pads for the front, because the fronts are pretty worn. Actually the front left, when I took it for a drive, wasn't actually engaging properly either, so we've got to suss that out. Hopefully it's not too big of an issue, might just need to be bled. The rears, there's heaps of meat left on these brake pads, so no need to replace the rears, but everything does need a clean. The diff is leaking as well, so we've got to suss that out, fill it up with diff fluid, and hopefully just tighten the back of the case up so it doesn't leak anymore. Just little things like that. So lots to get done. We've also got brand new shifter bushings for the shifter. So the shifter bushings are super blown out, that's why it's super wiggly. Very easy to replace the bushings, so we'll be replacing those. Got a nice new Nardi steering wheel to go on, and we're just going to be really fixing it up and getting it good. So super pumped. Obviously as soon as it's got the roadworthy, we can go ahead and do the fun stuff like making our coilovers, chucking them in, the flares, the wheels, everything like that. We've got brand new 235 45 17 tires on our wheels. No more stretch boy, because I'm more into the meaty fit these days, and these things look rad. So it looks heaps better when it's on the car as well. It doesn't look so ridiculous. So we just need to go ahead and tighten up all the bolts on the car, make sure all the lights work, and just make sure she's good and ready to pass her roadworthy. Super pumped. I cannot wait to have this thing nice and legal so I can actually take it for a proper drive. So first things first, let's go ahead and water blast this thing. Alright, scratch that on the water blaster. Turns out Tara's family have come and borrowed it, so we can't use the water blaster, so we're going to be using the old-fashioned hose. It'll do the job though. Let's get it done. Alrighty, so she's all water blasted. I've allowed it to dry, and now we're going to spray this underseal, which is pretty awesome stuff. It's like full rubber spray that goes under the guards and just makes it look all nice and stops everything from corroding and all the dirt getting to it. So, and it should make it look all pretty, and then we'll go ahead and change the front brake pads. Alrighty, so the wheel arches are all done. Man, they look heaps better. Freshen the whole thing up, which is nice. No more crappy brown old looking stuff. It's not so manky. So now we're just going to chuck some black on the struts and the suspension parts, just to make it look a little bit nicer, because it looks a bit crusty at the moment. Of course we'll be changing a bunch of this stuff later on down the track. Awesome, so everything's all tidied up under here, looks freaking great. Same with the rear, just kind of tidied everything up. Didn't need to spray the wheel arches at the back with underseal because they all look pretty good. So now we're going to go ahead and put the new front brake pads in. So you can still buy these brand new, which is awesome, even though this car's from like the 1980s. So yeah, pretty simple, just a couple of 14mm bolts on the back of the caliper here, should just pull off, and then we pull the pads out, put the new ones in. Brake pads can be a daunting job sometimes, but actually pretty simple. We might have to use a G-clamp to push the piston inside the brake caliper back so we can fit the new brake pads on, because they're a lot chunkier than what's currently in there. So here are the old brake pads. See, they're quite low on the meat. And here's the new brake pads. Super chunky, should last us a while. Definitely better to be safe than sorry, so we'll go ahead and chuck these in. They just slip in nice and easy, just like that. So this side's all done. I did make a mistake and I put this brake pad on the other side where the caliper is, where this like dimple is sticking out, and it was a real struggle to get this on, and then they locked up. So this actually needs to be obviously on this side where there's a nice gap for it, so that was definitely a rookie mistake. But hey, we got there in the end. Still a very simple job. Also, we're going to spray all of our wheels, the center of the wheel, silver. As you can see, I've already tested one out because I wanted to see what it looked like. Looks rad. Certainly a lot better than, I don't like the dark centers. Plus a lot of people run these wheels on the 280s and I'm not a fan of looking the same as everyone else, so I thought I'd just spice it up a little bit, and that looks freaking wicked, especially on the blue. So we'll get all this back together and we'll get the car on the ground. We'll get the front brake done, and then we'll go ahead, put the shifter bushings in, and I'm also going to fit my Nardi steering wheel, which should kind of bring the whole interior together in terms of look, which is wicked, because the steering wheel is super crusty. Man, I'm so stoked to be home and working on cars again. Feels good. Alright, the brakes are in, so next up we are going to put the shifter bushings in and get this thing back to brand new, because at the moment it feels like a sloppy mess. With every new bolt that I put in and tighten up in this car, I just get a little bit more excited about it all coming together. It's starting to look so cool and feel so good. These bushings are going to make the shifter feel brand new. So we'll whip this center console out, and I'll show you guys exactly what's going on and why it's so sloppy, and how these 3 pieces of plastic will fix our shifter. I only had one bolt holding the center console in because I knew that I was going to have to do this job. When I put it back on properly, it'll have all the bolts. So basically what's happened is all the bushes have basically broken down over time because they're plastic, and this car's like 40 years old. So we need to remove this pin here. It comes out just on this side with a flat head. We'll just get the clip off and then just pull the pin out. Very simple. Just like that. So as you can see, there are no bushings left, so super sloppy. So we're going to replace all of these bushes and chuck it all back together. We've got the bushes, just slip in here either side, just like that. One on one side, one on the other. I'm going to slip it in. Oh yeah. Alrighty, so the pin's back through, so we just literally put the clip back on. It's as simple as that. Trying to cut my finger off. Boom, just like that. Not as much side to side movement. Very good. So now we'll chuck it all back together for the last time. So that is all installed. Looks great, feels really nice, super tight. Just awesome, no more play anymore, so it feels like a new gearbox. Next up we're going to fit our Nardi steering wheel and really complete the look of the interior. And then after that, we can put the wheels on and get the car on the ground. I just need to make sure all the lights are going. Got a couple more things to do, like putting the door handles in, and just a few wee things here and there to bolt up, but essentially the car is basically ready to get a roadworthy. All the brakes are good, brand new tyres, all the lights will work, windscreen wipers are back on. So yeah, everything's starting to look really cool. So to remove the steering wheel, we just pull this horn button cover thing off, and it's this bolt right here in the center, which is like a 22mm I think. And then of course we have a genuine Nardi steering wheel from Up Garage Japan. Bought it second hand, love this thing. So we took that off the E36 and we're putting it on this because I think it'll be perfect for it. And then on the E36 we'll put this badass neochrome and white steering wheel, which you can get on twostepgarage.com. You can only get these from us actually. Looks freaking awesome. A little bit of bling for the E36. Yeah. 22mm. Straight off. Alright, the steering wheel is straight. Man, I'm ridiculously pumped. Looks so good. Such old school JDM spec. So stoked that it came with a dash mat as well, so I don't have to find one. Literally I'm just going to wash this one, and then I just need to put some Velcro bits, so it's like Velcro to the dash so it doesn't move while I'm driving. But so freaking cool. Beyond stoked. This thing's really coming together now. So I'm going to finish spraying the rest of these wheels so that we can get them on the car. So just giving them a quick light sand, and now we're going to spray them silver. Just like that. After a quick coat of this clear, they come up super shiny and nice. Ew! Alrighty, so that is where I'm going to have to leave this for the night. It's getting kind of late and I need some food because I'm super hungry, but we're making massive progress. Look how good those wheels look, man. Holy. Hit those comments down below if you think that the wheels look better silver or better black. Personally, definitely silver for me. I also got a bit sidetracked and installed this door handle. I started installing the door card stuff. It's super dirty at the moment. I'm going to clean all this up, of course. But for now, everything's starting to come together. Of course, this same video, we're going to continue this. I want this thing on the ground before the end of this video. So the front indicators aren't going. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But I'm hoping that's a grounding issue. But yeah, man. Starting to look pretty good. Alrighty, I'll see you guys tomorrow where we wrap this up, get this thing on the ground. Hopefully all the lights are working, everything's going perfectly, and we can take it for its roadworthy this weekend. Cheers, see you guys in the morning. Alright, we are back. It's a super warm day here today in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, and we are bleeding the front brakes. So here I have a self-bleeding system. So this thing is like $12 or something, and they're literally the best. So you literally just hook it up to the brake, undo the little knob, and then you pump the brakes until the line is clear. So let's go do that. Alright, let's go have a look. Booyah! Bottle's full. The line is completely clear of bubbles, and that's it. Just close it up. Oh, don't tip the bottle over because it'll spill everywhere. Tighten it, and that should be the brake fully bled. Look at that, still spins. Awesome. So now we'll do the other side, and the front brakes are all done. Best. Cool, so our brakes are bled, and the car is ready to be put onto the ground now, which is rad. So that's what we're going to do next, and then we're going to go ahead. I've put some fresh fuel in it because it still had kind of the old fuel at the bottom of the tank, and the tank was pretty much empty, so it was running a bit crappy. So we're going to go ahead, lower it down, start it up, and that's pretty much it. That looks epic. Awesome. Let's chuck the battery terminal on and see if she's keen to run. Listen to that. Perfect. Alrighty, so I'm way too excited. This thing looks freaking insane right now. So we're going to take it for its first drive. I didn't plan on it, but I'm too excited, so let's go for a wee drive around the block and see how this thing goes. Plus, I need to test the brakes anyway, so why not do it now? You.
Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
There we have it, guys. The first drive was an absolute success. Oh my god, it feels so good with the bride seats and the Nardi, so JDM spare car, just everything that I hoped that it would be. It's very slow, which is to be expected with the 40-year-old 2.8 litre straight 6 engine, but it sounds awesome, feels really good, looks amazing. Like, I mean, look at that. So cool, and that's just the beginning. It's going to look much cooler once we get our hands on it with the coilovers, the flares and all that stuff. But for now, this is what we're going to have to be happy with. Very cool. I think the wheels suit it perfectly. The blue looks awesome. I'm actually starting to really like the blue, so please comment below if you guys are keen for me to keep the blue. That's where we're going to end this video. You know, the year's coming to an end, but we have so much to do with the cars. We're going to finish the T18, take it drifting early January. We've got to do a complete refresh on the E36, and of course this thing needs to get its roadworthy so we can make it look amazing. So lots more coming your way, but I hope you guys are as stoked on the 280 as I am. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, keep pushing the channel hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.